Hannah, who are some of your inspirations for narrative design? What games do you feel have writing that you felt went unappreciated?
Ooh, I mean, when it comes to like narrative inspiration, literally everything. Like it's kind of one of those things where like as when you write, you pull knowledge, inspiration, vibes from everywhere you can. Like the more stuff you experience, the better, I guess, in that sense. Unless you want to write hyper specific things. But of course, I'm not writing necessarily like if I would write my own book, I could keep it in my own little niche. But that's not what I'm doing here. I'm writing for a very specific project for a very specific purpose. So then looking at like it's all of my own experiences and my own interests that go into it, but then also like anything that kind of fits within the niche that we're in with this project, considering genre, atmosphere, gameplay mechanics, like everything has an influence on this stuff, right? Um, and then of course I get to sort of filter it through my own personal touch. Like a lot of the all of the alien dialogue is it's just me going wild. Uh, it's not something that necessarily like fits the setting, but I figure like we have aliens or we have something weird going on. All right, let's do something weird. And let's like lean into it with the words I'm using, with the cadence of the words, with like how everything's kind of constructed. Um, I forgot there was a second part to that question.
Do you have any games where you felt the writing went unappreciated?
Right. Oof. I think when there's good writing in a game, usually people notice and it goes appreciated. Um, it's also usually games that are more narrative oriented that also then that is kind of their selling point. So that's why people are there. Games like, for example, Disco Elysium, like the writing in that is insane. It's really
Yep.
cool. I mean, anything that goes kind of really does its own thing. I always really appreciate that when it's just like, okay, we're gonna lean into a very hyper specific atmosphere, hyper specific themes, a very specific cultural influence. That's always really interesting to me. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like generally the things where I enjoy the writing get really appreciated. There is this one game, Wilder Myth. It is a cute little RPG that I think is one of the games that I think gets the closest to like an actual tabletop sort of RPG experience in a video game. And the writing style in that one is I don't know, it really tickles my brain. It's really nice, and it's a bit of like it's an indie game that very few people I think that I know about. But it's really nice and cozy if you're looking for a sort of more kind of RPG with some like interesting systems and really cool sort of like half procedural campaigns. Like they do some really clever things. It's cool. I have not yet played 1,000 Times Resist, but I have heard a lot of good things about. I follow a lot of like nerdy YouTubers that do video essays on video games and such, and that game has come up so much that I'm like, okay, I gotta, I have to take a look at it because I really like playing kind of, I don't know, weird offbeat little games just to try and try to challenge myself all the time.
Let's send some
Uh,
like top 5 favorite games sometime, some dev stream. Just sit down and jam through all of our favorites.
yeah. I
And
mean, we have very different tastes in some
we
ways
do.
and very similar ones to others.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a nice sort of like Venn diagram where there is overlap, but there's very much
Yeah.
their own like
Yeah. I would not even bring
areas.
Final Fantasy because that's too predictable at this point.
Yeah.